Okay, the next fly up is an orange blossom special, and it's kind of a takeoff on the California leech, which are California Dreamin', which is another Bill Sheath pattern, but I wanted it more leechy looking, so I worked out a kind of a trick, dubbing trick that I use on lots of different patterns of flies now, and I found it very successful and really durable for dubbed fly patterns. This is on a 3x long size 10 hook, so just a little bit longer shank. I also move it up onto a number 8 3x long sometimes. Again, I dress the body and cover that. If you've ever had flies that the body starts twisting on you after you cast it a little bit, putting that little bit of glue over your thread when you're dressing the body really slows that down from happening. Again, this is rusty brown woolly bugger marabou. If you're not familiar with that trick, if you cut the tail off on marabou with your scissors, it looks like somebody with a flat top in the military haircut. But if you just pinch the ends of it off, it comes out pretty naturally looking, and you don't destroy the fly. Even up these ends. Found these little electrical clamps are really handy for holding on to things like crystal flash and flashaboo so you don't lose it all over too. Okay, what I'm going to do with this fly is tie in a hackle feather. This hackle I'm going to tie in from the tip first, and I want to splay back the edges on it. And I'm also going to build a dubbing loop on this fly. Again, using my rat trap glue to help contain the dubbing a little bit. This dubbing is California leech dubbing. So the California leech is tied just exactly, or California Dreamin', some people call it. It's tied just like the RC is, and I liked it, but I wanted it a little bulkier to look more like a burnt orange leech. You see quite a few burnt orange leeches in both Strawberry and Henry's Lake, so I wanted this a little bulkier and bigger. Listen, I'm going to get my dubbing loop started. Then I'm going to take my hackle feather and wrap that in with my dubbing loop and get it going, and spin the hackle right into the dubbing too. It makes your hackle feather extremely durable because it's all wrapped in there. And it gives the fly a really nice effect. Five or 6 years ago, this was my, well, maybe 7 years ago, was my very best fly for 3 or 4 years on Strawberry. It still works, but it doesn't work as good as it did then. And I wish I could figure out how those fish change their appetites and why they do.
Are you fishing this on the surface or subsurface?
Subsurface. This one I fish typically on a type 4 sinking line and fish it, you know, subsurface, but you know, I fish it towards the shore and bring it around, and you know, I think it imitates a crayfish some of the time, maybe. Also, it does an imitation as the orange leech, and I'm not sure, but I fish it shallow and deep, but always subsurface. Same with the RC fly. I fished the RC fly a lot on an intermediate line and fished it right in shallow water close to shore, but I've the same had great success with it out in deep water and fishing it deeper on faster sinking lines.
Have you ever experimented with putting lead on it by any chance?
Putting what?
Lead on it?
You know, I like to use my sinking lines to get my flies where I want. I feel like if I weight my Stillwater flies, the fly sinks more than the line does, and they're in the weeds all the time. So if I use my line to go down, the line is usually fishing a little lower than the fly is, and as you strip it, it's moving right across the top of the weeds. And that could be all in my head, but it works for me. So. Again, this is a real simple pattern, and it's, you know, just darn near indestructible. I don't know if my friend Jeff Wagner's here or not, but I know he had one. I think he caught 37 fish on him or something at Strawberry one day that I'd given him. And cutthroats are notorious for tearing up flies. So. You know, I haven't really. I don't fish it on top very much. When I do, it's usually during the Calabatus hatch, and once in a while mouse patterns, fishing dry mouse around, even out in the open water in Strawberries, can be surprisingly effective. It's really unusual, but it depends on the years. Some years there's a lot more mice out there than other years, but on the years when the mice are prevalent,